This is a Nigerian creative. This wasn't the plan. I had a whole different episode 1 found out. I was supposed to introduce this and share my breasts, no they everywhere. Oh. By 2.
Let us market it well.
No, let's not. Let's not. My name is Peace Oni, and this is the Nigerian creative. I had a whole different episode 1 planned out for this series. I'd written it down, but life happened, and I thought, we should have a more relaxed start to this journey, because in all of our excitement and jumping up and down, we miss out on a lot of information. I mean, I know I do. So episode 1, Deji died, and the only other death that moved me as much as Deji's own has was Chadwick Boseman's death, which is ridiculous because I didn't even know. Chadwick did not know my daddy, and I didn't know his daddy's daddy either, apart from the fact that he's an actor, and he was very intentional with his life. There was something about his death that that shook me to my core. And wasn't just him, there was also Peace Oni, the beauty queen. 2020, those deaths. And then there was Biola, my best friend's younger brother. And 3 of them, there was something peculiar about them. They died quite young, but they had lived such impactful lives that it reinforced my plan to make sure that I die empty. I know we don't like to talk about death. We wish that, it will go away. But it's not going to go away. It's here. It's a part of life. There's life because there's death. And if you ignore that fact, then you will live as if you have time. But if you live with the thought that you do not have a lot of time, it will help you do a lot of things. It will help you ignore a lot of things. It will help you achieve a lot of things. And when you die, which you will, you'll be gone, you will not know what is going on, but then the lives around that you've impacted will have something to hold on to. Back to Deji. I met Deji in like 2006, 2007-ish. She's a twin. Was a twin. Is that what we say now that he's dead? Was. And he was one of the most beautiful men I'd ever seen. At first I hated him and his sister, because I was like, what's wrong with these ones? Started feeling like they were so fine. I used to dress so well, and then they would fill up because they are really tall, dark and handsome, tall, dark and beautiful, both of them. And they would fill the entire space. Anytime they come into church, you would know that they are there. Even if you don't turn, you would know, you would smell them, you would feel them. But they were very simple people. They did not try to be more than what it is that they were. And when I got to know them, I realized that, when you say someone does not have strength or wala, like they were not here to stress. They just, I can't find the words to describe them. And we became closer, we became family friends, and I started to see what their life really was like, but I could not help but admire how they lived. It's the simplicity for me. I cannot overemphasize how simple their lives were. Like you get what it is that you see. There was nothing more. There was nothing hidden. Genuine, honest. They loved both of them, and I'm talking about both of them because when you see Dayo, you see Deji, like it's a double package, right? They were the ones that even made me want to give birth to twins. Even when I wasn't sure I wanted kids, but I wanted twins. So like, how do I do it? I want twins, but I don't want to born picking. Anyway, Deji Alo, right? Life wasn't really good to Deji. All of the things that, makes a man in the society, Deji didn't somehow. Couldn't get into school early. He couldn't get into school at all. Did National Open University, couldn't get a job. Nothing seemed to be working. He kept trying to make things work. But his spirit never broke, and he never got involved in things that would bring shame to his family. That's one thing that I found, peculiar about him. Like, he had the opportunity to do a lot of things. He had the opportunity to learn how to scam people because he's really good with tech, really good with computers and all of that. But he didn't. He didn't drink around and womanize and all of those. He didn't. And you could tell that he was making a conscious decision not to be, those people. He was surrounded by them. He was living in Abuja, Kubwa. If you know about Kubwa, then you know what I'm talking about. So yeah. But then Deji got into riding power bikes. And when everyone found out, and this is the core of this video, when everyone found out that he was riding power bikes, because of how dangerous power bikes are, like, Deji, of all things, power bikes, is it that you are trying to kill yourself? Are you trying to commit suicide? You will ride now and die. What will be next? Please don't ride. And for years, everyone begged Deji to stop riding. I threatened him, I bullied him, I prayed, I begged. My mother would beg. My mother's friends, one time, Mommy Bolu knelt down and held his leg. Like, Deji, please stop riding. And then eventually we accepted it. Like, you know what, if you want to ride. Motorcycle brothers, they would zoom around, states in the country. October 1st, they are the ones advertising Nigeria. Any other Children's Day, Mother's Day, all of those things, they did a lot, zooming across country, and it was good. I mean, once I had asked him that, you should come and take money, right? But I knew in my chest that I wasn't gonna do that. I mean, I told him, I said, Deji, come and carry me now. And he laughed and laughed and laughed because he knew that I was a coward. And that even if we get near the bike, I would scream and run away. I wish that I had taken that ride, even if it was once. Because what we're so afraid to do has the power of changing our lives. And I wish I wasn't so afraid. So, Deji would ride with his friends, they would, and you could tell that riding made him feel like a man. It made him feel like he belonged. It made him feel like he was relevant. It made him feel like he was in control. Everything else wasn't working, but riding was working. He was in charge of the bike. He could feel the wind. He was in control. And that was good for him. It was good for his self-esteem. It was good for his person. It was good for his ability to show up for family. And family was important to Deji. Friends was important. I feel like if he didn't have that, he would have probably killed himself from depression because, as I said, nothing else was working. I say all of that to say that I don't know what it is that you as a creative are supposed to be doing right now that you're so afraid of doing, or everyone else, thinks is a bad idea. Don't get me wrong, I'm not encouraging anyone to go into any vice. You know what it is that is wrong and what it is that, maybe society or tradition or community thinks, you shouldn't be doing that. Please don't let anybody tell you what it is that you should be doing or what it is you shouldn't be doing, because nobody really knows. Everybody's just winging it. Nobody knows what it is that they're doing. People are just trying stuff out, and if something works, they stick to it for a while until it probably doesn't work anymore, and then they try something else, right? So don't let anybody that is in their phase of trying something else come and tell you what it is that you should be trying. Listen to advice, yes, Watch other people's journey and learn from it, yes, but don't let anyone tell you what it is that you should or should not do, especially if it's something that sets your soul on fire. Deji died on the 21st of December, and he was on a power bike, just running regular errand, nothing intense, but a commercial bike hit him, and apparently commercial bike was carrying 2 other people, and he was on his own, power bike, and they hit each other. And I hear he got to the hospital and then he died. I mean, we're heartbroken. We are all heartbroken. But I am so jealous of Deji, because whether we accept it or not, he lived life on his terms to an extent. And even though things weren't working out as it should, he lived, he loved, he laughed, and he rode. That just made me think, you know what? I mean, I've always been like that, but it just doubled the changer. I intend to die empty. I intend to use every platform, every opportunity, everything I can find to express myself. I love to tell stories, and I love to push people to do stuff. Those 2 things, I'm going to use every means possible to do them. This series is going to be doing both, telling stories. It's going to be telling what life is like for me as a Nigerian creative, and what life is like for most Nigerian creatives or creatives in general that I meet. And it's going to be helping you to get up and start what it is that you're supposed to be doing, because that is important for me. I need you to do stuff, because a lot of souls are attached to you doing what it is that you're supposed to do. But then most importantly, your soul. I'm going to stop talking now because I'm tired, and because I feel like I have said what it is that needs to be said. Till the next video, please take care of yourself, and yeah, stay alive.